Good afternoon and welcome in for another video of myself, Darren, HGV Class 1 driver here in the UK. And yes, I did say afternoon because today is Sunday and I'm starting at 3 PM. First things first, switch that on so we can get the electrics to the cab. Let's get the heater turned right up as well because it's absolutely freezing at the moment. And whilst the cab is warming up, we're going to be doing some vehicle checks to make sure this is all nice and road legal before taking it out on the road. Electrics are all working. There's no issue there, including the registration bulb. No damage to the tyres. Looking at the side of the wall, make sure there's no bulges, threads, or any other. The tank is all okay. Leads are perfect. Tread on the front tyre is looking good. Same for the nuts. There's nothing sharp or hanging out at the side of the truck, which might cause any damage. It's all in good condition. One of the ways you can check the treads on the back, you can either uncouple this, lift it up, or lift up the axle and you can get right in there a little bit like so. And they are both looking very good. And same for the passenger side. Good tread, no defects on the inside of here as well. And before I do forget, tomorrow's dinner is going to be ribs, so I need to keep them in the fridge. Got the milk all ready, and one of my subscribers actually mentioned getting long life milk, so I've got 2 of them in there and they will last quite a while. So thanks for that, appreciate it. One of the main reasons for lifting up the rear axle as much as it will possibly go when going underneath is to stop damaging the legs. So when you lift up the legs and you go underneath, you've got a little bit of give because they're off the ground. If they're touching the ground and when you go back, it could cause tension on this part, you see, so it just damages the legs. So always lift it up and then reverse back to connect. Now we're connected to the trailer, we're giving it a second and final walk round just before leaving, make sure the electrics are all working. And yep, side lights are all working good. For the plan of action, because I am working on a Sunday, that is really rare. Literally, this is the first time I've ever worked a Sunday, and the reason why I'm doing it, I'm starting at 3 o'clock and then leaving the yard for about 3:45, give or take. I need to get some fuel on the way down. After getting fuel, I then need to travel down to Milton Keynes because tomorrow morning it's a 7 o'clock booking. However, normally I would be starting at say 2 o'clock in the morning to get there between say 6 and 7, make the delivery, and then I'm good for the day. For tomorrow, the reason why I need to start at Milton Keynes right near as possible to the location that we're making the delivery to is because I've got a collection over in Hatfield and then it needs to get delivered the same day tomorrow to one of the clients. So that is why I'm starting today, driving down for a few hours, parking up at Milton Keynes, and I'm at the services right by Milton Keynes. I can't remember what they're called, but you know, when I get there I'll let you know what they're actually called, the official name. Stay the night there, in the morning, get up about 6 o'clock, leave there for about 6:20, arrive for about 7:15, unload, leave there for 8 o'clock, and then straight for Hatfield. One full tank for the journey ahead. Now the truck's been completely fueled up and we're ready to hit the road. The time is just approaching 4 o'clock. And to get to Milton Keynes, it's 151 miles away. Quite a nice and easy, straightforward trip though. Straight down the M6, join onto the M1 past Birmingham, and then down the M1 for about 40 miles or so. That's pretty much all I'm going to be doing for today. So I might just do a little bit of zoomy time, otherwise I'm just going to be doing a bit of dash cam for the next 4.5 hours. Well, actually it's going to take me around 3 hours to get there where I need to park up for the night. I truly did not expect this. 5:30 on a Sunday afternoon. Birmingham, ladies and gentlemen, is at a standstill. Now, I always joke saying like Birmingham's one of the worst places to drive around because a lot of people can't, not everybody, you know, but there's a lot of bad drivers in Birmingham throughout my experiences. Driving through the centre of Birmingham, I think, is worse than London, going off personal experiences, so don't be offended any brummies. No, not everyone is the bad driver. But however, the motorway, I always take the mick out a little bit by saying it's one of the worst parts of the motorway. And you need to get past here, ideally, before 5:30 on a weekday in the morning to avoid the traffic. And now it's 5:20 on a Sunday, and it's stop-start. I would not expect it whatsoever. I really wouldn't. I do hope everybody had a great weekend though. Even though I'm working on a Sunday, I had a really good Saturday. We went out to a farm over in Burscough, not too far from Southport, and I think it was called Windmill Farm, and they've got like a little bit of a petting zoo set up there. Really good. Albie was out there. He got to feed one of the baby lambs, which was a fantastic little experience for him. I'll put a few clips up here as well from it. Went riding on a little miniature train that they've got on site, which again was really good. Albie absolutely loved it. And then you got some of the animals that you can do like hand feeding with. For an example, the sheep, goats, other animals are there. We've seen loads of baby pigs what have just been born a few days ago, which were really cute. Now it is a little bit expensive for what it is, and they do have an indoor play centre as well for kids, like a soft play area, which Albert again absolutely loved it. It was a good little day out, a little bit too expensive for what it was, but I can understand why they do charge the way they do, because you got to hire the staff. Even something as small as like napkins, there's a big charge on that really, isn't it, if you're a business and you're ordering napkins in, so you need a way to cover it all, and then looking after all the animals as well. So you don't mind so much paying that little bit more, do you, if it's going to a good cause. But overall, really good day out. I've still got 80 miles left to go for tonight's journey, and I'm going to sat nav looking about 1 hour and 30 minutes. However, I've got to get past Birmingham, so it might be a little bit longer, unfortunately. Hopefully it clears up a little bit. It can't just be congestion though, that's what I'm worried about. Arrived over at Nottingham Services, and it's nearly coming up to 7 o'clock, and I managed to get myself a nice little spot. Hopefully we should be okay for tickets and stuff. I have parked here before having a break, but not when I've like having a 9-hour break. If you know the services, you know which part I am of it. So I'm on the corner, tucked in, no yellow lines or anything. But again, there's plenty of space if another truck wants to park there. and I've left loads of space for everybody to get around if they need to use the pumps. So in theory, it should be okay because nobody's getting blocked in or anything. Time to pay for parking. Well, that's dinner sorted. Got myself some pasta, I'll show you that in a minute, and of course, white hot chocolate. You can't go without a white hot chocolate. And another reason why I'm parking over here is because I've got stock on overnight, and I want to make sure the truck is as secure as possible. And with it being parked where it is, it's safe to say nothing's getting stolen out of this because I've got all the security right there. Here we go. Nice little bolognese. That'll do me for tonight, keep me nice and warm. Now that's the editing done for today's vlog that I've done so far for tonight. And for the rest of the evening, I'm just going to put my feet up, play on the Xbox, and I've just brought the new game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. If it's anything like the first one's really, really good. It's like a medieval RPG game, so if you're into that, maybe give it a try. And that is possible because I've got the Xbox down there and it's hooked up to the power bank over there. Good morning, folks. Not much to it, but at least it's clean. Gotta be honest with you, probably one of the best service station showers that I've ever had. It was that powerful, you feel like you're having a shoulder massage. I'm kidding, watch. It's like a proper jet streaming onto your neck and your shoulders. Really, really nice. Nice little Costa kickstart today. Now I feel a little bit more alive and awake. Time to hit the road. Arrived here this morning for 7:15, and it's a 7 o'clock booking, so making real good timing. I'm going down to Bay 56. Now I've got trailers parked right across the way from me, so I don't have a lot of space in front. I've had to come on the bay at a little bit of an awkward angle. Strain it up. Take it nice and slowly as well when you're reversing, don't rush it. Just before handing the keys in, right over there, I'm going to make sure the trailer's on the bay nicely, so we don't have to mess about after I handed the keys in. And yep, that'll do me. Now let's get the paperwork and the keys handed in. To be fair as well, they are pretty good at this place, so hopefully it should be a nice quick turnaround. Well, what small world it is, just bumped into one of my subscribers. Tom, nice to meet you, mate, really good lad. Here he is, one of the shunters. Yeah, nice to meet you, mate. First job of the day all completed. Nicely in and out. Time's just gone 7:30. Oh God, temperature's dropped loads. It says 4 degrees in the truck, but it feels like -4, being honest with you. I think it's more of the wind chill than anything. Our next destination is a collection, and it's down in Hertfordshire. If I remember correctly, off the top of my head, I think it's not too far from Hatfield, around that way. Which way is the sat nav taking me? Down the A5. now I can get onto the M1 a little bit further down. And when I was speaking to Tom just then, he was giving me a little bit of a heads up to be careful on the A5, because there was lots of tractors when he came in this morning driving down the A5 going down towards London. So I think the farmers are protesting again in London City, London capital, which is good on them. And I support the farmers. I go to the farm shops where possible, not all the time, I will be honest with you, but I do pop in every so often. Just everything's dead expensive these days, doesn't it? But you do get better quality meat though, that is for sure. Get to the destination where I'm going to. We'll be following the A5, jumping onto the M1 southbound, and it's 44 miles to go. And about an hour and 30 minutes drive to get there. Again, that just depends on traffic. Could be a little bit longer though. I've got 3 hours and 55 minutes before I do need to take a break. That's for the driving time directive, or before 12 o'clock if I'm getting close to the working time directive. A little bit further down the A5 and traffic's just got really heavy all of a sudden. It was free flowing probably about 20 minutes, doing 56 all the way down, and right down in the distance, probably looks like a mile ahead, I could just see loads of beacons. So I don't know if that could be the tractors that young Tom was telling me about, or it could be roadworks. I'm not really too sure. But there's a lot of traffic down this way now. But when I did speak to him, he said he was on the way into work, and I think he said he started at 7 o'clock, so I was presuming it would be about 6:30 that they all went past him. Well, between 6:30 and 7, and we're being 10 to 8 now. If it is the tractors, I thought they would have been way past this area by now. But I'll see when I get down there if it is anything to do with the farmers' protest, or is it just roadworks. I thought the traffic on the A5 was pretty bad before, which to be fair, it wasn't really that bad. It was just stood still for a little bit and then carried on for a bit more. I've just gone over the bridge for the M1 southbound, and all I could see was a sea of red brake lights. As far as I can see. So it's all coming to a stop just around here. I've still got 31 miles left to go, and the time's just gone 8 o'clock. And I'm staying on here now for at least 11 miles, coming off around Hemel Hempstead, then following it down towards Hatfield. And I'm not quite getting on the M25 ring road, but there's a road just above it. I can't remember what the name of the A road is, but when I come off there I'll let you know which one it is. And that will take me then from the M1 down towards Hatfield. It's normally quite free flowing on that A road. It's been a while since I have been on it. So we'll just move over. If I remember correctly as well, I'm only collecting 8 pallets from this place that I'm going to. I've never been here before. I did Google map it, doesn't seem too bad for the access point to get to it, but at the same time it didn't look like it had a big yard. So in terms of the situation and getting loaded, when I get there, I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. However long that might be. Exiting the M1 now for the A414. So that's the name of the A road I was talking about earlier on. It takes you directly to Hatfield. The traffic's been really heavy until about 200 yards back. It's starting to free flow now. So I'm not too sure what was holding it all up. Let's get in the right lane. Generally, I'm not too sure where all that traffic has disappeared to. So it doesn't look heavy at all on the M1 southbound now. Just that little stretch in the motorway where it was all backed up. So we'll slow it down a little bit so I can let these folks out. I can move across. Keep it to the left, the 414. Still got 19 miles left to go. And about 40 minutes of driving time. Arrived at Hatfield now. Currently 9:10. It looks quite busy at this part as well. I'm not too far from the town centre though, to be fair. We'll be going left this way over the bridge, and should be a little industrial estate just around here. It's a nice little place here as well. I've never been here before, but it looks like there's a lot of history here. I think I'm seeing some signs for maybe a castle of some sort. Mead Lane Industrial Estate, that's where we're going. Lots of apartments though, that's for sure. Right, so the business is just off Mead Lane. I got a little cafe there as well. So it's handy, good to know. There's nowhere parking wise for it, but I've got dinner with me today. SEG Group, right, this is going to be a bit tight. Nice little section here now. Well, I have to be careful, don't get stuck down a little dead end or anything. I couldn't see it on there. Feeling it's around here, this bit. I'm just going to put the hazard lights on quickly. Oh yeah, it is, that is it. Alright, so how do we get to it? Right, I'm going to put the hazard lights on quickly. There's plenty of space for vehicles to get around, but I don't know if it's going through this here, this little turning on the left, because it looks like that's printed circuits, not the business that I'm looking for. Right before the traffic comes, pull myself over onto the side, have a little walk around. If you're ever unsure, always get out, have a walk around. Just try and park somewhere nice and safe. A little bit like so. Plenty of space for any prams or anything to get past. I've just noticed in the foyer for this business is one of them like terracotta statues, and that looks so cool. I really want one. If I was to have my own like little office somewhere, I'd definitely have that stuff. Turns out I am at the right place. It is there, and I didn't pull in originally because it looks like printed circuits are up there, so that's why I was a bit on the fence with it. In the meantime, I'll just go pull up at the side, wait for the driver that's inside to come out, and then I can go inside. Somehow the time is currently 10 to 11. First collection and the only collection has been completed. Now we just need to head back to our depot over in St Helens, which is between 4.5 to 5 hours driving to get back, and I need to take a 45-minute break in about 1 hour's time, and then that will give me about 4:30 arrival back at our yard. It's a little bit tight getting out the yard, that's for sure. It would have been better as well if these cars weren't parked right opposite this junction. Four and a half hours then to get back. Let's do it. Let's get it done. And ideal, I need somewhere to park up as well from break. Nice and clear. The route I'm going to be going on the way back, instead of going back down towards London, because I think the traffic is going to be quite heavy, then getting onto the M1 and then going up that way, I'm going to go up the A1M, then jump onto the A14 instead, because the A1 is just here anyway, so it's not really too far out my way, and it does join directly onto the A14. Then I just cut across towards Birmingham, and then I'm going to weigh it up what time I actually reach the junction for to get M1, whether to go straight up towards Birmingham or divert up the M1 to the A50 at Stoke, and I'm most likely going to go for the latter, because I don't fancy driving through Birmingham around 1 o'clock as well, because it's going to be really heavy, isn't it, that time of day. Now let's move over into the other lane. Now the car's giving me a little bit more space to get in. But looking at sat-nav, I think that might be the best way to go. It's just the most direct route really, isn't it? Instead of going south, cutting across near the M25 region, and then onto the M1. You got all the roadworks on the M1 as well, which is going to be slowing you down. And I've got an hour and 38 minutes before I need to take a break. Currently on the A414. travelling towards Hatfield. Lots of roundabouts around here, isn't there? And they're not even big roundabouts here, they're all quite small ones. Let's see what the A1M is saying. Did have a quick check on Google Maps though. And one of the routes Google Maps wanted to go was to Birmingham, but using a toll road, which you don't really need to use, or go straight up towards Leeds and come back down on the M62. I think that's a little bit out of the way, being honest with you, especially when you can cut through Stoke. And if the traffic stays the way it is, it should be a nice easy drive to get up there. It's cruise control, 56 miles per hour, and away we go. It's got services in 16 miles. I'm not too sure if that is a car only service station, because up the A1 I know there's a lot of services we can't really use on a truck. I suppose with being an A1M, it is technically a motorway. Hopefully them services might be alright, because they may actually stop there from a break. So I'll take a break at about 11:30 and I've got a clear hit then for driving and break times, but I'm just going to wait up, see what time it is by the time I get there. Sometimes it is better to stop early instead of trying to push it. And then sometimes if you do push it too much, you can't find a parking space, especially if the roads are going to be like these are, and you could get an infringement then because you can't get anywhere safe to park. But at the same time, I want to make sure I've got enough driving time and I don't run out of my 4.5 hours before I get back to the yard, then need to take another 45 minutes to extend it. So that's what you need to play with. Got to weigh up all the options. What are there? I'm not actually going to stop at Baldrick services, and I'm going to carry on a little bit further, because we've still got 4 hours left to go. So if we get stuck in that little bit of traffic after I leave the services and I've only got 4.5 hours driving time, I will most likely need another 45-minute break before getting back to the yard. So I'm just going to power on a little bit more, probably another 40 minutes or so. I've got 1 hour and 8 minutes before I run out of driving time. So if I plan for 40 minutes, that will give me a little bit of a safety net then. So if we get stuck in traffic, I shouldn't really have to have another break to get back. And when I get back to the yard, I've already got a collection planned, and it's quite a simple collection. Offloading the stuff that I got now, 8 pallets, and then loading up with I think 6 pallets to take to the Northern Hub, which is only around the corner, and then that'll be my day done. So either way, I should be done for about 6 o'clock. Nice little 12-hour shift done, and I can't complain. It's been quite a nice easy one. I've got another service station coming up here, but I think this one is just for cars. It may have to be in the layby, which isn't too bad really, because I've got my dinner with me. I can cook it up. Oh no, trucks can get in this one actually. I see quite a few trucks in there. I've never stopped in that one, so I weren't too sure. starting to pick up a little bit as well. I can feel it battering the trailer, so I don't have a lot of weight on. Tighten the curtains as much as possible, but I still feel it knocking. Especially with being farm fields on either side of me as well, so it's just a big open plain for the wind to pick up. Still got 192 miles left to go. Not gonna lie, I've been looking forward to this dinner for quite a few hours. And for today, as I mentioned, barbecue ribs. Now the only problem is, I'm trying to eat some ribs, and because I'm in a lay-by, every time a truck or a big vehicle goes past my truck, I'm just wobbling loads. I'm not adding any exaggeration to this. This is literally like a ship in stormy weather right now. It's really bad. Could not sleep in this for the night, honestly, I really can't. That's why if you ever stop off in like laybys, either drop the trailer, disconnect it from a little bit so you're not wobbling around, or just find a nice big lay-by like I did the other day, where you can actually drive in and you're like 10 feet away from the actual road itself. That way you get a little bit of better sleep. Luckily there's a big bin here over at the lay-by. Last thing I want is my cap stinking of ribs. And I've got to say, they were absolutely beautiful. Managed to finish the ribs just in time. Thanks very much, mate, for letting me out. Appreciate that. As I was saying, as I pulled out of the road very, very slowly, that driver flashed me to let me out. Finished the ribs just in time, got cleaned up just as the alarm went off to finish the break. I've still got 177 miles left to go. The time is currently 10 to 1. And at ETA without traffic, look at 20 to 5 to get back to the yard. I've got a fresh 4.5 hours to go on my driving time, so I should just make it with the time that I've got remaining. Should be the key word. I like to jinx myself quite a lot. I've still got to get past Birmingham area. So I'm in two minds still, whether to go straight past Birmingham or stay on the M1. And when I did check the sat-nav earlier, it was staying 2 hours and 50 minutes in a car. So we can't exactly do 70 miles an hour, so it's got to be a little bit more, or about 3.5 realistically. Not really much in it then, is there, if we go up the M1 and cut across. Again, Birmingham traffic though, it's always going to be really heavy, isn't it? Final choice though, just as I'm about to come up towards the M1 junction on the A14. Don't really have a lot of time left until I'm at the A14. I think so, like 4 or 5 miles from where I am now. And this is exactly why I needed to stay out last night, so I can start at Nottingham services
sorry, not Nottingham, Northampton services with plenty of driving time. It's a longer drive than what you'd think, isn't it? Going all the way down to this place. So that's 60 miles per hour average speed, so I'm okay there. 56 miles per hour cruise control. I think Birmingham's going to be really heavy traffic, isn't it? Especially by the Wolverhampton area. Can't make my mind up. I'm always double guessing myself when it comes to going on the M1 or going past Birmingham itself. Fair, from the A14 and to the M1 and then coming back off, it's not a lot of distance really, is it? You can get on and off pretty quick, the M1. Approaching junction now for the M1 North. Currently got 127 miles left to go and the time is just approached 10 to 2. So I've got 2.5 hours left driving. I'll go to the sat nav, but on the tacho I've got 3.5 hours. So it's lucky really that I did drive for that 1 hour extra before pulling over and hammering a brake. Or it would have been really, really close to my driving time actually running out, whether I'll make it or not. All I need is a little 10-minute queue somewhere on the M6, let's say. And then that would have been me going over the hours. So luckily it did. Hang on a little bit longer before having a break. So now I've got plenty of time before I do need to take another break. I should be able to get straight down there, no problems. I will, however, I'm going to stop over at Donington Park Services, get myself a quick Greg's coffee. If you watch the channel a lot, you know I like my Greg's lattes. To be fair, I think it'll come up to my free one anyway, so I don't think it'll cost me anything if I can claim a free coffee from there. But since I don't have any coffee in a flask, I might just grab a little latte. Saves pulling over there and brewing it up and everything, because I've run out of sugar, so that's one of the other things, so I need to top up on the sugars. So this morning, the coffee I made while I was waiting to get loaded, it wasn't the best tasting one, but hey ho, it done the job. I looked at the sat nav a little bit earlier on as well, and to go past Birmingham or go up this way, there was only 3 minutes in it. But by the time I get to Birmingham itself, you know, traffic's going to be a lot more heavier than what it would be on the M1. Saying that, he's saying up there at the moment, queue after junction. As you can see, the weather's took a little bit turn for the worst. Really miserable again. Roll on the summer, that's what I say. Hopefully it's a little bit nicer weather as well for weekend. Off down to Chester Zoo, first visit of the year. Nice little cheap day out. Now the only reason I say it's a cheap day out because we've got the memberships, so we'll pay like £15 a month for all three of us to have the memberships to the zoo. Then when you turn up at the zoo, it's free of charge to actually get in. So on the day itself, it is actually quite cheap. and then take your own stuff for a picnic. Just move over there so I'm not sitting right behind the truck. Another driver, see if he wants to move over. Guess not. Let's move over because we're going a little bit quicker than what this gentleman is. Hoping all these little storms were behind us, to be honest, after that last one. Hey, what do you know? The trailer's still there 6 months later. And I think it's just full of rubbish actually. I thought it was tyres originally, but I think they were black bin bags. About to get onto the M6 northbound. Coming up to 4 o'clock now. Been a long drive this, hasn't it, so far? We left at 11 o'clock. Then I've had to take a break for 45 minutes. Pretty much been driving 4 hours already. I didn't think it was that far away. Obviously it's a little bit further than what I expected. Well, thank you very much to the trucker behind. Let me on. Cheers for that, mate. At least it's all nice and clear at the moment. Fingers crossed. Don't want to jinx myself, really don't. Well, I've got 43 miles left to go, 1 hour driving. Go to the sat nav. I'm just trying to work it out in my head at the moment. So we left at 11 o'clock. We're taking a break, say 12 o'clock. Back on the road and just rounding it up to like nearest hour. Back on the road for 1 o'clock. And I'll be driving 3 hours. It's taking quite a while actually. It's one thing I really like about doing driving as a job though, even though you can do 15-hour days or average 12-hour days. A 12-hour day does not feel that long when you're driving. It goes really, really quick. It's like today I'm already on hour 10 for the shift that I've worked so far. And realistically, I'll probably be out at 5:30 by the time I get back to the yard. Try and factor in about 30 minutes of traffic. If you've got any questions about the vlogs, let me know down below. Or anything about HCV driving, I'll try my best to answer as much as I can. And if you are enjoying them so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss out on notifications when we go upload a new video, which I do upload Monday to Friday at 7 PM. Forget watching Coronation Street or EastEnders, stick the vlog on. It'll be more interesting than watching Coronation Street, I can guarantee it. Nearly there now, guys. Time is currently 10 to 5. And our yard is about a quarter of a mile away, if that. So I should be getting parked up for 5 o'clock. Just need to drop the trailer. I've got my run through for tomorrow already. We are going to just north of Birmingham, and it's one delivery, and then should be a collection either on the way back or a backload from either the Birmingham or Leicester area, somewhere in that region anyway, to come back up this way. That's if they can get one planned for tomorrow. If not, it'll probably be Knutsford for the collection. It's not been a bad day overall, has it? It's been alright. Traffic wasn't too bad on the M6 just then. Especially getting past Lim, literally no traffic whatsoever. 56 all the way down, which is fantastic. Just can't wait to get home, see little man, give him a big cuddle, and of course Leanne.
And that is me done for the day. Tomorrow is a 6 a.m. start, as I mentioned before, going up to just north of Birmingham, Sutton Coldfield, and it's only one job. I'm not too sure what I'm going to be doing after that. But if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day, have a great week, and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.